All right. What is up, everyone? We are live and alive in the 915. My name is Richie Marrufo. I'll be MC and host, and it is another Monday night. Time for another online open mic. Let me go ahead and mute myself live because there you go. I messed up. Anyway, yeah, I got YouTube running over here on my monitor so I can keep track of everything. But once again, this is our Monday night online open mic. We've been doing these since April of 2020, nonstop, every single Monday. It's crazy. When I say it that way, we've just been here for a while. So we've got a pretty good community of writers and performers that tune in from time to time, including a list of regulars, many which you'll see tonight. This is like any other open mic. So if you are returning, you already know that. You already know how this goes. Welcome back. Good to have you here. Shout out to all the peeps that just tune in to support most of the time, including Jenny, who's usually here in the Zoom call with us. So shout out to Jenny for always supporting. All the people that tune in live on YouTube. Some of you guys like wait for us to start, and that's cool. That's a real one. So thank you, all of you who are there in the room waiting for us to just get started. Sometimes we don't start exactly on the dot, but sometimes we're just gathering poets, like gathering chickens. We're just making sure that everyone's all together in the same room so we can get started. But yeah, if this is your first time here, an online open mic is just like any other open mic. It is a place for you to sign up and perform your work. This particular open mic is open to any kind of writing, so poetry or prose, as well as any kind of storytelling. So I would even stretch those boundaries to any kind of multimedia, including maybe even dance. We've had that before. You can tell stories through dance, right? And of course, music. We welcome singer-songwriters. Of course, it is always tricky if you don't know how to do it, or if you're not familiar with the technology doing music through Zoom. So I always recommend people to join us early for like a tech check and for all that stuff. But other than that, it's all the same. If you want to perform, all you have to do is sign up like any other open mic. I will have the sign up sheet available in the link to the description as long as we are live. So if you're watching this and then it says live and all that, and there's a live chat right over there, then help us out, participate in the live chat. But if you want to join us, there is enough room right now. So you can check out that link. It's not there yet because I just barely went live. As soon as we turn over things to our first couple of performers, I will update the description. I'll add any links. And so you can check right now. But if this isn't live, you're watching the replay. First of all, thank you for watching the replay. You can't be here with us when we're live, but you found the time during the week. Even if it's just while you're cleaning, doing any kind of chores, maybe you got your earbuds in or headphones, maybe you're at work typing away data or something. Thanks for tuning in. You can hear us, and the support means everything. It is a platform, so everyone who goes up here, I'm going to encourage them to share their social media, links to their website, places you can buy their books or merchandise or anything like that. Even if it's just sharing your social media, because as I've said this before, even if you can't purchase anything or buy a book or a shirt or any kind of merchandise, one way you can support the artist is by always following, liking their content on social media and sharing that. Because when you share it, more people get to see it, and it just brings more people into the show. So, yeah. And like any other open mic, it's organic. It's different every time. People are going to bring new work. People are going to dust stuff off. People are going to bring cover poems. That's right. The vaunted cover poem, something that we do here. You're more than welcome to share the work of someone that you appreciate, that is no longer with us or still around, a contemporary or even a friend, right? Those are always fun. We even have the tradition of throwing on a little hat for the cover poem. So that's something that we do. Other than that, hopefully it's a welcoming place. I hardly ever do the full spiel at the beginning of this, but the other thing is, we want this to be a place where you can say what you want to say, artistic freedom, creative freedom. With that said, hate speech is not the same as free speech. We haven't really had that issue too often, but I feel like I should say it every now and then to kind of remind people. And of course, as the MC and host, if any of you have any issues or comments or anything, please come to me. You can message me. You can find me online. You can just look me up, Richie Marrufo, on online anywhere. If you type in my name, I will show up. You can find me on Instagram at Deadwall Reveries. But with that said, yeah, I'm going to introduce you to all our peeps. Very brief. Sometimes I do get carried away, and it turns into like a mini podcast where I interview them. Like, oh yeah, how's it going? How are the wife and kids? Just kidding, not that deep. But hopefully you guys can enjoy the art. That's the whole point. We're gonna listen to everyone, and each performer. That's right, all you guys, all the performers, people who are signed up. Let's say you get about 5 to 7 minutes per performer. That of course is a very, very loose interpretation of 5 to 7 minutes. You first of all, you don't have to use all that time. So if you got like a quick poem you want to share, that's cool. You got a couple quick ones, that's fine. I'm not gonna be like, wait, hold on, you got 3 more minutes. Keep going. On the other end, then things, I know sometimes people have works that are a little longer. And if you get really excited and aren't paying attention to the time, some people do have a tendency to go a little overtime, especially because you might misjudge like how long a piece actually is when you start reading it. So we're not gonna like go crazy, like the hook off the stage thing, but just kind of be aware. If you do have a piece that is really, really long, I always encourage people to break it off into sections and then like kind of read it serialized throughout the week. So part one would be tonight, and then you would say, all right, that's it. Join us for part two next week or something like that. So anyway, I feel like I've gone over a lot of stuff. Lastly, for everyone watching, you guys are our audience. Unlike a live show where we can usually see the audience and see your you and clapping and when you're listening and nodding your head in agreement, we can't see that. So something that you can do to help us is if you are live, we do have the live chat. Once again, you can participate, just say hello, what's going on. Several of us like to hang out on the YouTube live chat as well, so we can answer stuff. I know Kit does. I do as well. And if you're watching the replay, you can also leave a comment down below. Who did you enjoy? What lines did you love? Were there any particular images or metaphors that just like struck you in a way that made you feel something or learn something new, or maybe you resonated with? All those things are an option, but again, as our audience that we cannot see, let us see you. It goes a long way. All right, so that is probably my longest intro in the longest time for this. So maybe I'll share a poem at the end of the show or to open up for our closer. But regardless, we're going to go ahead and kick things off as we've done so many, many, many times before. In all the chaos of the world and all the darkness, everyone needs a little bit of a lighthouse. And he always promotes the Lighthouse Writers. So I've been calling him our own lighthouse. Let's go ahead and kick things off in Denver, Colorado, where we have Mike Sindler to kick things off. Hey, what's up, Mike?
Hey, Richie. All right. Yes, another great evening here. And yes, lighthousewriters.org. That's easy to remember and easy to type into your browser right there and just look at all the different stuff that's going on. There's always new classes and workshops and events and things. So even if you think you've looked through what it is, you'll be amazed. And I cannot recommend it highly enough. I had a little tragedy here in stately Wayne Manor. And so I wrote this poem about it. It's an elegy called A Death in the Kitchen. I have to throw away a saucepan, my go-to closest at hand workhorse, just the right size in which to make a one bowl meal or a portion of pasta. Nothing special, not the best. Adopted out of a dumpster, used nearly every day for years. Don't get me wrong, I've got others, but this one fit the bill for so many little tasks beyond count. It's hard to remember not having it at hand. I'll let you in on a secret. I killed it. There, I said it. It was me. It was me. It was my friend, and I did it in. It was already on the edge. My only Teflon no stick among the stainless and the Calphalon. Some scratches in the surface, serving up forever chemicals with every dish I cooked in it. But this time I walked away, let the computer suck me in. I forgot and left it simmering too long on a hot stovetop, warming leftover tagine, tasty next day dinner turned into black Moroccan carbon, crust sticking like concrete, no amount of helpful soaking would ever begin to unharden. So I boiled water in it to loosen the muck and used the safest scrubbing pad that would crack off the gook. Yet once it was gone, my poor 3-quart helpmate was sadly scratched beyond the point where it could ever again be called nonstick. Now it sits on the table waiting for the grave like a dying pet. I know it's absurd to mourn it so. I should discard it in the dumpster where it came from so many years ago. I will. I swear I will. Maybe tomorrow. And I wrote that days ago and I haven't gotten rid of it yet. Just, what can I say? I'm weak. And I thought as long as I was reading that one, I'd read a couple older ones that are related to food and stuff, because it's, some people know I spent 30 odd years in commercial kitchens. That's what I did most of my life. And this one's called The Line Cooks. We work the line in the stifling heat that thickens the glaze that sears the meat and boils the savory bubbling broth, skimming off layers of rising froth, sauteing and frying and braising and basting, spicing just enough, measuring and tasting, using every tool and apparatus we can wield, then plating our craft, our art, your meal. And this one is for my buddy, who actually is the guy who takes me grocery shopping everywhere when I need to go. Can't find a better friend than that. So this is Slice of Life for Jim Whitworth. I have no need of metaphor to describe what I adore. I'll say again, as I have before, nothing beats a pizza. A crust, some sauce, a bit of cheese, whatever toppings serve to please. Of all the world's delicacies, nothing beats a pizza. A burrito's fine, a burger's great, fried chicken makes me salivate. But just to recapitulate, nothing beats a pizza. You're welcome to your favorite food, raw or baked or barbecued. Eat what you like, I won't be rude. But nothing beats a pizza. Okay. And that being said, out comes the hat. And I wasn't really sure what to do, so I fell back another of my let's do a favorite song. And this is the great Richard Thompson, probably the song people know best, which is Vincent Black Lightning, 1952, which has been covered many times really beautifully. Oh, says Red Molly to James, that's a fine motorbike. Girl could feel special on any such like. Says James to Red Molly, my hat's off to you. It's a Vincent Black Lightning, 1952. And I've seen you at the corners and cafes, it seems. Red hair and black leather, my favorite color scheme. And he pulled her on behind, and down to Box Hill they did ride. Oh, says James to Red Molly, here's a ring for your right hand. But I'll tell you in earnest, I'm a dangerous man. For I've fought with the law since I was 17. I robbed many a man to get my Vincent machine. Now I'm 21 years, I might make 22. And I don't mind dying, but for the love of you. And if fate should break my stride, then I'll give you my Vincent to ride. Come down, Red Molly, called Sergeant McCrae, for they've taken young James Addy for armed robbery. Shotgun blast hit his chest, left nothing inside. Oh, come down, Red Molly, to his dying bedside. When she came to the hospital, there wasn't much left. He was running out of road. He was running out of breath. But he smiled to see her cry and said, I'll give you my Vincent to ride. Says James, in my opinion, there's nothing in this world beats a 52 Vincent and a red-headed girl. Now, Nortons and Indians and Greaves won't do. They don't have a soul like a Vincent 52. Oh, he reached for her hand and he slipped her the keys. He said, I've got no further use for these. I see angels on aerials in leather and chrome swooping down from heaven to carry me home. And he gave her one last kiss and died. And he gave her his Vincent to ride. Okay. Thank y'all very much.
Awesome. Thank you very much. I think I mentioned it last week, but I love how naturally when you take off the hat, it's like also a tip of the cap, a stage bow of sorts. But yeah, Mike, I always love your performativity on the pieces. We have our little Zoom rectangle to operate in, but you turn it into a stage. That is for sure. Especially when you do the cover poem, you embody the voices so well. Also Beat Poet Laureate of Colorado. Just want to give that a shout out. And I know you mentioned Lighthouse at the beginning, but do you have any readings or anything coming up featuring yourself?
Well, I will be doing a couple things in August. I will be doing the facilitating at Tumble Words on the 5th. And I'm really looking forward to that. Finally figured out what I'm going to do. It's going to be an ekphrastic thing. And then on the 26th of next month, I'll be featuring at Gestalt open mic, and I'll let y'all know more details about that before it happens. So thank you very much.
All right. Awesome. Yeah. I had to ask, anything to promote. Definitely encourage you guys to share that, especially maybe anything coming up immediately this week or in the next 2 weeks. That way so we can be aware of those things. All right, we're going to go ahead and continue. Once again, also shout out to Sandy there on the live chat. Hey, thanks for joining us. Glad you're always here and supporting as well with your comments. Finn Bell in the house. That is awesome. Finn Bell is amazing. Always great to see her name pop up in the Zoom chat as well. All right, let's go ahead and keep this going. I did mention Poet Laureate. You did hear the mention of Tumble Words. So next up we have the Poet Laureate of Tumble Words. That's right, that is a name. She's also a master gardener, master poet. So excited for the release of her upcoming book. Let's go ahead and bring back to El Paso and welcome Robin to the stage. Hey, Robin.
Hey, Richie. Hey, everybody. Yeah, happy Monday night. Yeah, I was gardening this morning. I got bit by about 1 million ants. But I got about 20 squash bugs, so came out even. So I'm going to read some things for summertime and for immigrant people and things like that. And I was reminded of this poem because of the Oppenheimer movie, which I haven't seen yet. And it got published in where did it get published? Book of Matches, I think. It's called Fallout Shelter. In Turnpike Stadium, our family descended wide concrete ramps with yellow and black signs to point out the safe places. In case of nuclear storm, it seemed we'd go see the minor league Spurs usual pitchers duel. Never a single, let alone a homer. The first baseman got married at home plate, the only way he got there. One of their ranks pitched a no-hitter once and signed our gloves his curving rhyme of a name, Doyle Boyle. My brother studied the way the manager behind first base touched his nose and ear while I eyeballed patchwork signs on the green fence, our signature gloves poised for any and all foul balls, but we didn't get one. Our mother held her mouth tight in a line, hunching her shoulders against what she knew, that foul balls could crack skulls. Our daddy gave us money to buy him peace of mind, so we wandered the tunnels where we would go in case nuclear policies went wrong, while blue and pink sugar blew burning from boxy steel looms and loud popcorn signaled for some souvenirs to reassign our phosphorus thoughts to memory another night. How I yearned for a pennant to pin up, a cap with a red bird on it, and I had a penchant for the green and yellow Oakland A's. Asleep after the game, we missed the traffic jam, the fallout of a million jerky gamma ray headlights, stirring into motion dreams that we caught the foul ball sure to come our way, just like the invisible atoms we learned about. My teacher held her mouth tight in a line, knowing what could happen. Her brown eyes widened when she thought we weren't looking, and she made us practice, not curveballs or fastballs, nor in batting cages, but hunkered down under our desks, arms clamped over our heads, tucked between our knees, our bodies our own makeshift shelter from the fastball we nor she would sense once it came, foul balls falling all around us. Okay, and then I thought I would read this one, which once upon a time got published in the literary magazine from TCU called Descant. And it's about one of the last indigenous women in California. Maria Better Than Nothing. That's what they called her, Juana Marie, the last survivor of one California Indian tribe, the Nicoleño. Left on San Nicolas Island by herself for 20 years, she forgot others whom the Franciscans had transported into disease and slavery, their missions of charity. Found 2 decades later, quite by accident, dressed in bird skins, singing bird songs after not hearing words or people. She forgot she was not a bird. She forgot words, not sound, not birds, not clothes. She forgot language, not song, not art. And of course, I'm thinking about the poor migrants that have to now face these murder buoys that our governor put in the river. So this is called Passage to the North. I didn't see the hawks today, hunting rodents over the long grasses while floating flapless over the ridge. They have likely departed north. Nature gives prey and predator an extra charge. Just today, though, I heard the songbirds start up again, a sweet performance. Desert marigolds are about to bloom. Give them 2 weeks to migrate across the desertscape. Which way, America? Liberty is always farther north. Follow the star out of one danger zone into another, La Fronteriza, to hear the questions. Who are you? What do you want? Where are you going? Where are you from? You must step up to the threshold, singing birds who think the hawk is gone. Heading north like birds, you arrive at the checkpoint with only what you can carry on your back and hold in your hands. You go in the footsteps of a revolution. You go from your life that made you leave your home not even as safe as a nest in the ground. Okay, and now I'm going to do my cover poem. I'm going to cheat a little bit and do one of my translations, which turned out well. And because I have so many animals in my life right now, I'm going to do The Panther by Rainer Maria Rilke. His look has been made so weary from passing over the bars that it can't hold any more. To him, it seems there are 1,000 bars, and behind the 1,000 bars, no world. The smooth, soft gait of his strong steps rotates in small, tight circles, like a dance of power around a center in which a great will stands stunned. Only at times the curtain of the pupils pushes itself up, then an image goes in there, goes through the stiff and silent limbs and holds up in the heart out of existence. So I have a book coming out. It's called Ridge of High Pressure. I'm planning some things, local peeps. The first little opening salvo will be at Aaron and George's Film Cafe in August. I think on probably the third Wednesday in August. Aaliyah needs to get back in town so I can talk to her about it. And what else am I doing? Tumble Words is always going on. Tumble Words is at 1 to 3 Mountain Time. If you want to get in the habit of writing, there's nothing better you can do. Let's see, we had Fernando Monteano last week, and that was great. Let's see, I think Kit's going to be subbing for somebody next week, right? Yeah, he's going to be subbing for Vale. They can't make it, but they provided the materials. So it'll be part Vale and part Kit. Oh, okay. What else? Yeah, I'm real excited about my book. I got the final cover today, and that's real exciting. Should be around the first week of August. Oh, and I'm doing a virtual reading. I think it's Saturday, August 26th, and I'll be telling y'all more about that when it's coming. Okay, thanks everybody.
All right, awesome. Thank you. Thank you, Robin, so much, and for all the updates. If you can possibly find a date that's not the third Thursday, because that's when we do Capri, and that's our only poetry night. So, but if that's the case, then obviously we'll make it work somehow. But definitely check out Tumblewords, all you peeps watching online, especially if you're a student and you want to share, like, improve your writing. Just the goal is to just like write as much as you can, first of all. So definitely check out Tumblewords. Shout out to Vale, of course. Shout out to Brian Franco as well, who can't make it, but he always comes out and supports. You can check out Cafe Handedalissimo. I think it's the first and third Monday of every month where he does that on Zoom. So you can check that out as well. Shout outs to everyone. We're gonna go ahead and keep going. If I look here on the list here. All right. Oh, yeah. This past Thursday we had poetry night at Capri, and he had been out before, but he had an absolutely captivating performance. Just sometimes our writing is an opportunity to be vulnerable on stage, but also it's a powerful thing. And his words, I think, were really hit people that night, and I hope he knows that, because I didn't really get a chance to talk to him since then, but it was just a amazing performance of his work. And then I think just a lot of people were again, just drawn in by your story. So today he's here to share a little short memoir. He has been also, he's read here before, but also he supports a lot. I give him shout outs all the time as Julian or Going Blind, Enjoying Life on YouTube. Let's go ahead and welcome to the stage, Julian. Hey, what's going on, man? Happy Monday. Good to see you. I'm glad, as always, I'm really glad when you can make it with us. How you doing today, Julian?
I'm doing amazing. Thank you. And thank you for last Thursday. It's like I said, it's hard for me to get out of the house. So, and then I feel very vulnerable after something like that. I feel like I'm standing up there butt ass naked after crying and revealing my soul, basically, right? So I like to dip out right away. I do apologize for that, but something that I'll try to get better at. So my name is Julian. As Richie said, I am, my tag is Going Blind, Enjoying Life. And this is just a short memoir of something that I'm writing. This is out of the chapter called One Time at Blind Camp. And the title of this short is Learning a New Way. The sounds of high heels tapping the ground echoed loudly over the yelping intercom, telling passengers, take out all electronic devices before placing your bags on the conveyor belt, was all I could hear as we entered the airport. My head was spinning, my stomach turning, and all I could think about was not wanting to board this flight. The airport attendant grabbed me by the elbow and sat me in a wheelchair, making me feel less than a man and a little angry, causing me to scowl at him. After a short trip in the elevator and a ride to the gate, the attendant handed me over to the flight attendant, and off I went to Austin, Texas, to learn a new way to live at Chris Cole School for the Blind. Little did I know, but this school and the staff would teach me so much more than Braille and mobility skills. What I learned is priceless and has had lasting influence on how I view life. It had been 3 depressing years since I had lost most of my eyesight, and at this point, I found myself tired of living with my blindness. Those years were full of many nights of praying to not wake up the next morning as I fell asleep night after night. My entire life had been turned upside down. The career that I loved and had worked so hard to build was gone. My freedom stripped away, all in the blink of an eye. Going out in public became a hard task that I frankly gave up on. Staying at home doing drugs became my haven, away from the stares, the comments, and awkward interactions. I had hit rock bottom with the desire to stay there, with no plan. The only way out was to go to Chris Cole and learn life skills, Braille, and how to use a computer, how to use my phone, but most importantly, my cane and my mobility. My mobility classes consisted of learning to use my hearing and different styles of cane tips, and learning to cross the streets and ride the city bus or train, to find locations and to learn the numeric system and the street addresses there in Austin. This class also included days where my instructor would drop me off at certain places, asking me to meet him back at the school, leaving me to fend for myself. My hearing, along with my cane, and skills that my instructor Joe was teaching me, gave me the freedom to move around with confidence once again. Now, I may not be able to tell you what Austin or my instructor Joe looked like, but I can tell you the city is loud. I remember walking by the Capitol building and hearing people's voices shouting over bullhorns, the rattle of the paper signs they held being blown by the wind, cars honking as they drove by the loud protesters. The days my assignments took me near 6th Street, I could hear the street musicians and the loud music coming out the front door from every bar alongside the joyous laughs of their patrons, all the while listening to Joe's soft baritone voice, instructing my every move. There were times I fell and got a love tap or two from a car in the parking lot of a Walmart or an H-E-B, making my fear grow stronger and confidence shrink again with every incident. Joe would explain that it was okay to be scared, but what I needed to learn was to be brave and face this fear head on every day. My disease was not going anywhere anytime soon. Other assignments were grocery shopping, where we had to type out our shopping list with Braille embossers, make our way to the grocery store and do the shopping. Then make it back to campus before our home skills class began, where we would cook our dinner that we just purchased, all while being blindfolded with the gigantic, hard plastic sleep shade that was very uncomfortable in the summer heat. One muggy summer afternoon, I was tasked with grocery shopping and cooking for my home skills class. So I typed down my list on the embosser and off I went to catch the bus. Anger and doubt started to set in. I didn't feel that I was ready to go out on my own, but Joe's words ran through my head. Be brave and use that fear to push you forward, Julian. That was all I could think of besides the smell of urine on the bus and the loud engine growling every time the driver accelerated. HEB North Austin boomed on the digital voice over the speaker, letting me know this was my stop. I stood up, distracted and in my thoughts, feeling everyone's stares as I made my way off, making loud clacking sounds as my cane hit everything in sight. Feeling embarrassed and angry, I stuck my cane in front of me to feel for the landmark I knew was there from previous visits where Joe had accompanied me. Sweeping my cane from side to side, feeling nothing, I began to panic. Remembering what Joe had taught me, I stopped to listen for a clue. But the embarrassment combined with doubt would not allow me to focus on any of the sounds. All I could hear was the voice in my head telling me how stupid I was. And in a fit of rage, I threw my cane, all while yelling and cussing myself out, doubting even more that I would be able to live this way. Dropping to my knees, feeling the hot pavement touch my skin, I wept. Tears and sweat making my sleep shade damp where it met my face. My body shaking from the anger I felt, roaring inside of me like a fire in a steam engine of a locomotive traveling uphill. Get up. Here's your cane, said Joe, as he helped me up, handing me my cane as I stood. He walked me over to the bench to the bus stop where we sat for a while in silence while I composed myself. The sounds of vehicles driving by while we just sat there waiting for the next bus. A part of me died that day. That piece of me that hoped to live a normal life. Reality set in, and the lesson learned that day, combined with everything I had been learning the past few months, was that this was not going to be easy. But life could be possible if I chose it. Joe finally spoke, saying, Julian, you have to learn to see the world in a different way, or you will forever be miserable. I didn't fully comprehend what Joe was saying that day, but as time went on, I began to understand what Joe meant that day while sitting on that bench. After 9 very emotional months of long walks, days filled with me yelling at a blank computer monitor, and many tears of frustration and joy, I graduated Chris Cole, School for the Blind. I left there with confidence and literacy in Braille. However, Joe's words of wisdom taught me the greatest gift and lesson one should learn. All the skills that I had just learned would be of no use if not for those words that Joe spoke that day at the bus stop. Blind school taught me skills to get by in life, but Joe's words pushed me to truly see the world in a special way. And you guys, as I go on with this disease and it gets worse, and I find new adjustments, I go back and I read this and I remind myself that I have chosen to live. I have chosen life. And it's not easy. And, you know, there's a saying, this too shall pass. And when I get depressed, I think this won't pass. This won't pass until I die. I'm going to be blind my whole life. But what will pass is those feelings of doubt and those feelings of not wanting to keep going. But Joe's words really helped me. And just wanted to share that story with you all. Thank you for listening.
Oh man, thank you so much for sharing that. First of all, I'm excited to hear that you're working on a memoir. I think your story is great, and the fact that you're sharing it can mean so much to so many people. So for people watching you for the first time, how can they like follow you, like and like your work? Is it your YouTube channel? Like here, go ahead and plug or promote anything you want right now.
Yeah, so I have a YouTube channel where I just share my my travels and my process of losing my eyesight, my ups and downs. It's called Going Blind, Enjoying Life. And I'm also on Instagram, Going Blind, Enjoying Life. I also am director and executive director of a nonprofit. I really don't like to talk much about that, Richie, because I don't like to boast or anything. I don't want people to think that I'm like bragging, but we have a nonprofit. We help kids here in the community. It's also out in Las Vegas, Nevada. It's called Real Talk Youth Impact Program. And what we do is we tell our stories. I lost my eyesight because of a prison guard that handcuffed me and threw me in a cell with my rival enemies. And I share that story with the kids in hopes that they change their ways and don't want to end up in prison. You know, it's a two-way ticket isn't guaranteed just because you get a 1-year sentence, 2-year sentence. I had a 13-year sentence and almost didn't make it home. I ended up in a coma, lost my eyesight, lost a part of me. It's still in there in prison, and I don't want anybody else to feel that. So this program is designed to help these kids stay out of trouble and get back on track, help these single mothers, single fathers out there that don't have money to put their kids in after school activity. And after they listen to us, get a real talk, and they're involved with the community and volunteering, then we fund them for $150 a month, and we pay for any after school activity of their choice. And I'm trying to get some of those kids to get interested in writing. The more I write and I see the release of the teapot, as I call it, you know, every time I read one of these stories or poems, it's like a teapot going off, right? I'm releasing that pressure. And that's what I do with these kids. But thank you all for listening. And yes, I enjoy this. Thank you, Richie.
All right. Hey, thank you. And man, the teapot, that's such a great image too, a metaphor for that release. But yeah, first of all, it's not bragging at all. I get the sense, but if more people get to hear about it, definitely mention it when you have the chance. But also, if I'm around, I'll do the talking for you. You know, like Julian, he is Real Talk. He's the director. So for sure, Real Talk, check out the YouTube channel. And again, thanks for joining us today, Julian. Appreciate it.
Thank you.
Yeah, we're really lucky to have you part of our community, Julian. We really, really, every time you're here, it's a blessing for us. So please come back.
Oh, thank you. And like I said Thursday at the thing, you guys are helping me, this community, this poetry, everything Richie does. Like I said, for me to get out the house, it's very hard, but through poetry, it calls me to leave. I went by myself last Thursday, which is huge because, you know, I can't see. So thank you. Thank you guys. I really appreciate everything. Thank you so much.
No, it was great having you there anytime. Yeah, and you have my contact info, so you know we'll connect more. And again, the goal is, I think, we want to promote your stuff as well, not just your writing, but the nonprofit. Yeah, so we'll be in touch about that. What a treat having you on here today. As I mentioned, Julian oftentimes listens in on YouTube and participates in the chat. So yeah, I always love it when someone goes from the Zoom live chat into the Zoom rectangle spotlight. Or whatever you call it. I don't know. That's what I dubbed. All right. Thank you, everyone. So if you're just tuning in, this is our Monday night online open mic. We do this every single Monday. If you want to perform, we do have a link to perform on our social media. You can follow us, Barbed Open Mic. Something that helps us is if you do use YouTube, subscribe to our channel. In addition to the live streams, I have a lot of content that I've been recording. And oh yes, if we do have students tuning in, so I teach, I'm a college professor. I teach English here at Paso Community College, but I know that oftentimes students tune in for what we call the Tejano Passport Program. It's a way to encourage students to get involved with community events. So yeah, we got Efrain in the house. The passport, the town. I'll give you the code right now. Let me introduce the next performer. I'm also gonna. We got Tiza Somok in the house. What's up? Yeah, I'll add him to the list. We're gonna go and keep going. Wow, that was a whole segment. All right, so we got next up. Our next performer is joining us via the Pacific Northwest, but they're currently in New Mexico. They are one of the dopest poets that I've got to meet in person. But on top of that, she is a podcaster. She's got merchandise. She's got her own thread shop of clothes, of merchandise. and just does a lot of really cool things. Not to mention that she's so fly. It also helps to know that she's in the Air Force when I say that. So fly. So anyway, sorry, I'm gonna stop being dorky and introduce our next performer. Let's go ahead and make some noise and welcome Vanessa to the show. Good to have you back on. Welcome, Vanessa. Cool background, by the way.
Why? Oh, thanks. It's like one of those stargazing things
Oh, those are cool.
on the floor, and it moves.
It's a vibe.
Yeah, it's a vibe. Oh, my dog is being clingy. Hello, you say hi? No, can't see. Okay, got it. Oh, okay. Do you want to say hi? Okay. I wasn't sure what kind of vibe I was feeling, so okay, feeling today. But we're gonna do some love poetry. Okay, thanks for the support, Shug. Okay. I like my love aligns with the galaxy. I like a love that can dance with my fire because of Sagittarius, no sophisticated seduction, and I got Scorpio tendencies. You see, I like my love loud and the dark and quiet and public. Let my tongue leave poetry on your sensitive areas, the type that could only be recited at 2 a.m. And I just want to know, may I swim through your hopes and dive into your dreams while you explore the craters of my desires and the deep trenches of my memories? May I learn your scars and write your story on the walls of my heart to see if they'll open up for you. I'm trying to open my gates, invite you into my sanctuary and incorporate your presence into my safe place. My safe place, you're present beyond my love space, like I can't stargaze without seeing your face. I appreciate a manifested love so powerful that when we kiss, we resurrect long lost generations, reawakening romance relatable to our heart's guidance. And sometimes I'm speechless, but only when my heart becomes so full that it literally chokes me. I guess I should warn you, I like my love suffocating. I like my love wrapped around me like a basilisk, legendary, venomous, lethal. I like my love strange and abnormal, like doves flying in circles the way vultures do, completely out of the ordinary, like purple bananas and chicken flavored oranges. I like my love unexplainable, so people don't get it. People fear what they don't understand, but we think it's perfect. Like insiders only we know, gotta be a part of the club to the passcode. I like my love intimate, like graham crackers smushed together and attached by gooey marshmallows and melted chocolate. I like my love so sweet. I like my love offbeat because my heart itself is inconsistent when you're around me. It doesn't know how to act. And I just need to know if we can take this deeper because you're showing all the signs of a keeper, and maybe you can swim through my hopes and dive into my dreams while I explore the craters of your desires and the deep trenches of your memories, because I like a love that grows. So when you're ready for a love like mine, let me know. And yeah.
Oh, that was so awesome. That was sweet. That was sweet. I'm sorry. I was like so caught up in the imagery of that too. I loved it. Vanessa, you have a website, vanessaverse.com. How else can people connect and support your work?
There's that, and I'm actually going through a Instagram pause, so you can find me on Facebook. So if you search up Vanessa verse like a Bible verse or like the universe or like the multiverse, it's Vanessa verse. So you can find me on there. My website is also thevanessaverse.com, and yeah, just doing a little 50% social media pause. Shh, I'm doing stuff. That's it. Thank you. But yeah, Yeah, I have nothing going on. I do host if anyone is around New Mexico or around the Alamogordo area, I host a monthly open mic over at CZF Tacos. So it's a taco spot, very intimate setting, but still good because there's nowhere else to do that around here. So yeah, just something. That's it. No more shameless plugs.
No, it's not shameless if I ask you, you know. Yeah, I still think it'd be cool to like try and get a little caravan to make it on one of those Fridays. I've yet to make that happen though, but you just reminded me. Yeah, so the vanessaverse.com. On top of that, you know, you heard a little bit of that poem. You have some awesome foodie posts, but I think that's another thing completely. So just wanted to
Oh
mention
yeah,
that. Yeah, it is.
it's completely, yeah. I try to keep it separate.
For sure, for sure. I realized as soon as I was saying it. But yeah, check it out if you're in the Alamogordo area. I know we used to have a poet, but I think he moved. But yeah, we'll promote your stuff, you know. Just post it or share with us and we'll also put it out there for you. Vanessa, thank you so much for joining us. It is always a treat. Also shout out to the pup. I always love seeing people's beloved pets on screen as well. Yeah, that bark just is like a supportive bark, you know. They can't clap or snap, so they got to bark. I always mention that. All right, so once again, guys, welcome to our online open mic. We're going to go ahead and continue onward, and we're going to move a little further west. In fact, we're going to go to the Bay Area and find a little bit of gold. Remember the gold rush? Well, here we go. We're going to go ahead and welcome to the stage Bianca, who is a Bay Area poet based that specializes in indigenous poetry. She does speak on topics that should be part of our everyday conversations. You know what I'm saying? So to follow her, you can learn more about Bianca. Her Instagram is b.yanka. I believe you'll be able to see the handle on her Zoom screen when she comes on screen. She currently has a Patreon called the Dope Poet Society that you can subscribe to, and she also has a Venmo under her name Bianca, where you can donate to the fund. Without further ado, though, let's go ahead and welcome back to the stage the one, the only Bianca. What is up? Hey.
Hey Richie, thank you for having me. And I was actually inspired by Vanessa's piece on love that I decided to not, why not? So this one was from my therapy journal, and it's called If I Used All Five Senses to Describe Someone I Love, I Would Say, it's the way your voice comforts me. How sarcasm finds a home in my ears and dances with my laughter, like it's a reminder expressions are far better than words, and how bittersweet my tongue gets with our soliloquies tangled, our conversations, and cut us down from the pedestals we put each other on. Oh, how we fall so effortlessly into each other's arms. I could caress your harness of truth and veil of lies forever. Coddling each other into sweet lullabies that rocks us back and forth, finding comfort in chaos and nurturing the gentle heart. The olfaction of linen, candles and embers burning, and mixture of pheromones, even down to the weather, can transport me to a time where my peace was perfect. The peace when I feel the most whole. Holy matrimony doesn't always end in I do's, but I can promise to sit when I can't stand you and to follow you through the cracks and crevices our foundation may create down the line. You hold me like you've been carrying my verity, burdens, and deceit for me. Your skin feels like a security blanket of wisdom I needed all these years. The warmth of your body feels like a summer breeze, warm enough to feel, but is gone before you have the chance to savor it. With you, I can see how time is only a construct, how forever lives on, and how glorious anything can truly be. This entire time, I've never mentioned how much I actually love you, or even used the phrase. It's because I never have to do so. This one is actually a prompt I gave some of my patrons on behalf of the Dope Poet Society, and I decided to do the challenge with them. So this one is called, If I Had a First Aid Kit That Could Make Me Feel Better, What Would Be in It? It's kind of funny. The first thing that comes to mind is nothing. The things I thought I needed never needed me back. I thought about a mother's love and concern, a father's acceptance, or even a sibling bond. I thought about Band-Aids, Neosporin, or even an ice pack. The thing about first aid kits is that it's reassurance you'll be okay, but you'll also be functioning at less than 100%. But even a mother's concern coerced into a holy chant while rubbing Vicks Vapor Rub on your chest, and a father's acceptance to have you in his life while you and your sibling can have conversations about nothing can somehow make you feel like you're invincible. Like you've never been broken or shattered, only to realize you're as flexible as glass and have depth like the ocean with ideas filled to the brim of wonder, and everyone wonders why you can't just sit still. Why you can't just choke on family narratives, like family ties so tight you choke on nuances of permission to be happy, please. Ties so tight you start to dangle above the hurtful truth that maybe the reason why blood is thicker than water is because it's proof family can kill you before society does. Family ties so tight they're tangled, knotted, webbed into ancestral fear of always proving they're right. Band-Aids don't do much other than indicate a reminder you've been freshly cut or still healing from something you didn't think would hurt you in the first place. So now you're rubbing Neosporin on a cut, hoping it glues you back together, back to a time where you walked around in one piece, yet even an ice pack can't make you feel numb enough. I guess you can say I'm thawing, defrosting from all the trauma that's kept me frozen for so long that even ice packs doesn't give me the chills that I've received from speaking to my own family. Now, when I think about what would be in my first aid kit to make me feel better, I'd say anything that keeps me alive because I'm tired of surviving. All right, y'all, my name is Bianca. Thank you so much.
Yo, all right. Hey, thank you. There's the Instagram handle, and please feel free to share any links as well in the chat. Dope Poets Society. Thank you so much for joining us, Bianca. Cool. All right. Sweet. Yeah, if you got any links to share, we'll also push that forward as well to everyone on YouTube. Again, shout out to Sandy. Everyone else that is on the live stream. Shout out to Jenny. Shout out to Efrain. Everyone who's here to support, to listen, all that good stuff. All right, so we're gonna go from the West Coast back to Texas, but we're gonna zoom past El Paso for a little bit and zoom into Levelland, where we have another of our awesome performers and poets. Let's go and welcome to the stage Lungs of Dust. Yo, what is up? Hey.
Richie, what's up? How are you?
I'm great, thank you.
Following me again. I know it's been a few weeks, but so I unfortunately have one thing to read. I think this will be a good time for me to practice like slowing down a little bit because I tend to read a little fast. So I think I think this will be good for me to just read this. I'm gonna try to take my time with it. But yeah, I have this one and it's actually titled, it's called They Did a Number on Me. So let me go ahead and start it. I've spent many nights roaming the depths of my puzzle, scribbling on anything that will accept my words and permanence so they can stare back at me, the shattered mirror that always stares back. It's as though these words choose me to be their mother, to help me grow alongside them and mend whatever is broken, a story never easily told. And now, ever still growing like two children, all I recall is that it's been 814 days since I went home to that blue house that painted me its twin. There was a full spectacle of my love being torn that day, even from the skies, as the fog turned to pouring rain. I suppose the fog was incapable of holding it in any longer. I knew that feeling then. And there on the street, an audience just as hysterical. And I remember there I was, just dying in front of them all, handcuffed and stripped. The humiliation curdles my blood even now. All I remember is you closing that door. I could have started a war. I was a foolish girl then, using the last of my nails to scrape my innocence on any brick of concrete I walked on. I've had to learn to breathe once more, slow and steady. I've had to take each drag, slow and steady. All I remember is that it's been 186 days since I stopped believing in love. It became too cruel. It sprouted thorns on my delicate heart, and now my words intertwine with those thorns. What a nice, comfortable home, the first that will never be taken from me. All I remember is that somewhere something broke inside of me, and these words lead me towards something greater. I can see its skies from a distance. I can almost taste its fruit, and I know it comes in abundance, and I've learned I'll only take what I need. That's all. That's it today.
All right. No, that's great. I thank you for sharing your intention to be deliberate in your delivery, slow it down.
Got a little bit slower.
Cool. Awesome. And do you have anything you want to promote right now?
I don't have anything. I mean, I sell earrings on Etsy if you guys want to check that out. They're cute, they're fun, they're crocheted. My Etsy is A Distant Storm. And that's pretty much it. I'm working on a tiny little short story. I'm hoping to finish it next week. Every day here, but
Yeah, that's exciting. I hope you do. And if not, though, there's no pressure, right? Maybe the week after that. But yeah, if it is ready, we're ready to hear it. Everyone, Lungs of Dust, and like I love the names you choose for everything. So your Etsy is A Distant Storm. I like that. I like that. All right, everyone, welcome back to the online mic. We got a couple new peeps that have signed up or joining us, so I'll be updating the list as well. But right now, we're going to go ahead and come back to El Paso, where we've mentioned Tumble Words, and his name comes up a lot. He's been here for every single show, 100% attendance. In addition to a lot of our in-person shows in El Paso, it is time to bring up Mr. Monday Night, the one, the only Kit Ran. Kit, go ahead and take it away. What's up?
Well, there's also the 17th century architect. He would also go by Kit to his friends. So not the one and only, but he's dead. He doesn't get any say in anything that happens, because that's what that means. Okay, so welcome to my part of the show where I talk shit about historical figures. And we're going to go into the poems now. The zoning committee has been working around the clock, availing themselves of even the extra 37 minutes. The issue is a silly one, but one with billions of dollars staked on it regardless. Owing to the nature of Mars' reduced gravity, how far away from residential neighborhoods must the proposed stadium for the expansion franchise Mars City Rovers be built in order to prevent unusual amounts of property damage from flying baseballs? The meetings have been contentious, detail-oriented, inscrutable, and unproductive. At this point in the young history of Mars City, not even a generation on, the pioneer's dream of leaving Earth's problems on Earth must seem tragically naive, like a virus praying earnestly for its next host to be tougher. And Ella's down again. But I'm prepared this time. I have all of them in a big master Word document. That's what I'm working with. So I'm ahead of the game this time. Shakespeare did not write his plays. Let me rephrase so I don't sound crazy. Shakespeare did not write his plays down. There must have been some private jotting, but it was private. No scripts were given to the king's men, because if there were scripts, then anyone could do these plays. And with copyright law still 200 years in the future, steps had to be taken against theft and the degradation of the business empire of Shakespeare. Along that same line of thinking, I am scared that if I ever try to write about our friendships curved in generous contours, they will disappear or get cheapened, coarsened, misunderstood, given in mass printings to middle schools for preteens to shout uncomprehendingly before their embarrassed parents. Loopy adaptations will send us to Munich, to Cairo, to Glens Falls, New York, never thinking to change the mild Dallas drawls, and down on their luck academes grasping for tenure or a place on a Goodreads bookshelf will see our shadows in every new trend. Appoint us founders of every new school, make us parents of every new subgenre. Find confirmation in us of the things they already wanted to talk about. And speaking of confirmation bias, conspiracies will arise, claiming that I am actually my own next door neighbor and that you are the hapless patsy of a pointless cabal. So, as another poet must have said, screw it. Art promises a ticket to immortality, but it's more like a coupon for a tombstone. I see no reason for us to be cheap or plan ahead. They'll learn nothing of us. You can be absolutely sure of it. And I think I'll just go straight to the cover poem. I'm going to read one of the revolutionary letters by Diane de Prima. If you're Diane de Prima is this is just a monumental work. This is something everyone should have, and it's free online. That's the great thing about an anarchist who's not a hypocrite, is all of their writing is free. So, Revolutionary Letter number 32 by Diane de Prima. Not Western civilization, but civilization itself is the disease which is eating us. Not the last 5,000 years, but the last 20,000 are the cancer. Not modern cities, but the city. Not capitalism, but ism, art, religion. Once they are separate enough to be seen and named art, named religion. Once they are not simply the daily acts of life which bring the rain, bring bread, heal, bring the birds close enough to hunt, birth the children, simply the acts of song, the acts of power, now lost to us these many years. Not killing a few white men will bring back power, not killing all the white men, but killing the white man in each of us, killing the desire for brocade, for gold, for champagne brandy, which sends people out of the sun and out of their lives to create commodity for our pleasure. What claim do we have? Can we make on another's time, on another's lifeblood? Show me a city which does not consume the air and water for miles around it. Mohenjo-Daro was a blot on the village culture of India. The cities of Egypt sucked the life of millions. Show me an artifact of city which has the power, as flesh has power, as spirit of man has power.
Awesome.
Instagram at Kit Run Away. Well, this is curiously outdated now, isn't it? Let's just move on. Ko-fi.com/KitRen, a personal project of love of mine. It's a bunch of essays about the history of American football, and that will soon start up again about the time that football starts up again. Find me on Facebook easy enough. You can send me an email. You can drop something in the tip jar on PayPal with connected to my email. And the Tumble Words project is tumbling along at quite a pace. As mentioned earlier, our planned workshop, Vale Larkin is taking some time away to recharge and deal with some health issues. They were hoping they'd be able to do that after the workshop, but they've decided to do something else, but they have shared the notes with me for their workshop and just a little bit of polishing, and I will execute their vision. I'll leave their name on the marquee because it's their show. But that'll be happening this Saturday, 1 o'clock Mountain. The Tumblewords Project, we're a generative writing workshop dedicated to the confrontation of the blank page. Everyone is equal before the blank page, as our late founder, Donna Snyder, was very fond of saying. So just come by. We're open to all skill levels, all modes of writing. If you want to write it, we sort of cater to poets, but if you want to write a short story, we want to hear that. If you get distracted and write your grocery list, we want to know what's cooking. Now, you know, we're taking everyone on the boat. And but yes, that's this Saturday. Mike Sindler will have the talking stick August 5th, as he mentioned. And August 12th, a real big local get, winner of the Alice James Prize, Aldo Amperon. They will be joining us on the 12th. So again, big tent, big boat. We welcome everyone, and I'll see you when I see you.
I love that. That's a good sign off. Thank you, Kit. Hold on, let's see. There you go. Sometimes my mouse acts up. It's like, come on, do that thing. Do that. Come on, hurry up, do that thing. And then it doesn't do that thing. You replace the battery, probably. Anyway, yo, what is up, everyone? We're here on Monday. It is our online open mic. Check out Tumblewords. And I remembered earlier, I was giving everyone shout outs. And I totally forgot. Shout out to Fernando Montejano, who recently ran Tumblewords. Robin gave them a shout out, and they've also been so instrumental and helpful with BWOMS stuff, especially for our shows in person. They've personally helped me set up, deconstruct, because I bring like a whole like stage with me when I do my shows. Audio, lights, mic stands, cables, like the whole show. Video cameras, audio recorders. If you've seen it, you know, you've seen it. But yeah, it's also a lot of stuff to carry. It's a lot of stuff to put together, and even worse, at the end of the night, put everything away and put away. So Fernando's been helping out with that, and it's just one of the most valuable things that to me has help. But in addition to that, they've been solid as a host and also as a photographer of the shows. So if you follow us on Instagram, you know what's up. Anyway, we're going to go ahead and continue. Let me take a look at our list. We're going to go from El Paso to Washington, D.C. Not for the only time tonight, but let me introduce our next performer first. Martin L. Parker, aka Parkwillian, is a lifelong language nerd, fascinated by the intersection of language and art as expressed through poetry, calligraphy, and linguistics. These passions have coalesced into a calling to share his multilingual word art and poetry with the world. Always great when he has a chance to check out, and every now and then he does rock the BWOMS t-shirt, which we do have available on our link tree. Short plug, but go ahead. Let's welcome back to the stage, back to the show. Let's hear it for Parkwillian. What is up, Martin? Hey,
thank you, Richie. Yeah, I forgot to wear the BWOMS t-shirt tonight. Oh well, I have to show off one of my t-shirts, but I thought I'd share a few poems here. This first one is another of my elegies, just my most recent one. It's becoming a habit to go on Facebook and find out a friend has passed away. So this is for one of my friends there. This is called Kyasarin. It's in loving memory of a fellow exchange student whose maiden name can be translated as Pure Golden. We met in a room in a Toronto hotel, surrounded by others on the way to Japan. Your heart beat pure to a different tone, as did mine to a song across the sea. You shared many thoughts, though informative and kind, if often delivered with a snarkish remark. Like, look where you're going, as I'd seldom do, or a spontaneous hug when you'd realize just how foreign our experience was. I never imagined with 1,000 dawns you'd finally pass through all creative blocks and turn the album over, of course. So now as the sakura blossoms flow, with Kiyotsukete, I wish you a fond sayonara for the golden journey you're on. And had to add that last word because that was her maiden name, Euron. This is another poem I've written relatively recently, one about my mother, which I haven't written enough about, I don't think. So this is called Strawberry Bavarian Pie. My mother taught me how to bake a pie crust and an oatmeal cake and other things I love to make, like talismans of food that take me back to times with love she'd share, while sitting in a kitchen chair, the way to create these treasures rare, such comfort food with a subtle flair. Then when it was time, the crust we'd fill with strawberry Bavarian and let it chill. She'd whip the jello and cream until they'd almost set, and then with skill, she'd fold in berries that turned it bright pink, and down into the crusted sink, its flavors like the missing link to joys of childhood lost, I'd think. But really the memories are always there, like fleeting glimpses of my mother's care. And this is one from BWOMS recently, not BWOMS, Tumble Words. I do realize there's two separate entities here. So this is called Spell. I nervously climbed up to the stage for the spelling bee in my brand new school. Kids asked if Martin was my first or last name. I didn't get the feeling they thought I was cool. So standing in front of the restless crowd, I stared at the lights like a proverbial deer. I don't remember much at all. So strong and crippling was my fear. Apparently part of my mind still worked, for after all was said and done, to my amazement, I'd not only survived, it turned out, they told me, I had won. So thank you very much, everyone.
Hey, there you are. Awesome. And that's one of your original shirts too, right? Native Tiger.
Yeah, my Native Tiger, yeah.
Awesome.
And if you want a poster or canvas print of my wave poster that's in the background, I think it's in the background there.
Yeah, I love that wave.
It's all available on parkwillian.com. And you can check it out on Instagram at parkwillian. And I do actually have an announcement of an upcoming feature for a change. I will be featuring on Spoken Word World Online on August 15th, Tuesday. Starts generally 2:30 in the afternoon Eastern time.
Yeah, that's a great space. David's a great host.
Awesome. Yeah, that's great. Awesome. And also, please, any links that you have. Yeah, there you go. Ed and I were on the save wave link there. Yeah, post any links that you have. Martin, thank you so much for joining us. Parkwillian in the house. Thank you. In la casa. Alrighty then. What is going on, YouTube people, YouTube land? What's up, world? We're continuing with our open mic. We have more performers, so please stick around. Again, if you're here live with us, let us know you're here. Give a shout out in the chats. Let us know you're here. But if you're watching this later, you can like the video, you can comment, subscribe, all of that stuff we call engagement. And the more you engage with the video, it gets pushed out to more people, and that helps all of us. So we're happy to be here with you guys. And again, we've been here every Monday since April of 2020. And we're continuing to do so as long as people need a space. So we got Julia Matthews, we just added you to the list. All right, I'm seeing you here. We're gonna go ahead and it's back to back Washington, D.C. We don't have to go anywhere. So our next performer is also joining us in Washington, D.C. We're coming to you from mountain time zone, but these peeps are coming to us 2 hours in the future, so it's a little later, and I always appreciate it when you guys can join us, because I know it's sometimes it can be hard to stay up. But anyway, our next performer, him. He's here all the time. He kicks things off with his own OG jokes and his unique sense of humor. And his just incredible voice performances. Let's go ahead and make some noise. Welcome to the stage, Ed Poetastic. What's up, Ed? Happy Monday.
Happy Monday. Thank you for making the gray go away. Thank you for giving me a reason to stay. Woo! Okay, my name is Ed Poetastic. I'm feeling fantastic. Please get it's time to go join my rhyme file. Feel sublime. I got 8 jokes and 3 poems, so I won't take too much time. The first joke is, what did a dolphin say when he made a mistake? Hey, I didn't do it on purpose. Why do cows have hooves instead of feet? Because they lack toes. What did the rodent say as he was leaving work? Wow, it's been a long day. I could really go for a drink. Why do crabs never give to charity? Because they're shellfish. Where do sheep go on vacation? To the Bahamas. What did the elephant say when he stopped in the middle of telling a story? Never mind, I realize this is irrelevant. Why did the cow cross the road? To get to the other side. And last but not least, what did the fish say after proposing an idea to his boss? Let me know what you think. All right, hope everyone enjoyed those jokes. My first poem is Long Night. The lights are fading away. The stars are dancing high. The shadows came out to play. The twinkle come from our eyes. The quiet hugs our ears. The silence thicker than a knife. The shadows are near. Another chime in the nightlife. The couple of strangers yawning for slumber, rubbing their sandy doors, bodies slowly moving like lumber, minds quietly yearning for their beds to restore. The nightly migration has begun. The concrete roads packed full of flashing lights and sounds. The beams were brighter than the sun. The ride of the mindless merry-go-round. The tiny bugs singing miniature notes. Fireflies flashing their radiant glow. The small yet whimsical thunderbolts flying high, nice and slow. The blanket of chilling yet human air. The smoky fog is everywhere. The sun is sleeping, I'm fully aware. The warming spiral has no warmth to spare or share. The vivid towers have signs of close. The darkness flooding the rooms and halls. The places to eat, I suppose, while the flames remain froze. Many different shadowy silhouettes dancing on the walls. Walking with me, myself, and I is this ghostly mind behind me. I see you in the corners of my eye. You copycat who flows fluently as the sea. My night commute has reached an end. I jiggle my wand to open my iron gate. Time to clean and hug my soft, fluffy friends. Turn off my lights. Let me dream, for goodness sake. Thank you. The other one is called The Fight is Never Over. There's still air in your lungs. The fight isn't over. There's still blood in your veins. The fight isn't over. There's still steel in your bones. The fight isn't over. There's still light in the darkness. The fight isn't over. There's still days for your tomorrows. The fight isn't over. There's still life in the abyss. The fight isn't over. There's still time in your hourglass. The fight isn't over. There's still fire in your heart. The fight isn't over. There's still water in your eyes. The fight isn't over. There's still wind beneath your legs. The fight isn't over. There's still stone in your fist. The fight isn't over. There's still doors in your horizons. The fight isn't over. There's still gales in your mind. The fight isn't over. There's still moon in your night. The fight isn't over. There's still dreams in your river. The fight isn't over. There's still a sun in your atmosphere. The fight isn't over. There's no clouds in your skies. The fight is never over. Thank you. Last but not least, I got something increased, but there's going to be a spicy piece for a little bit different expertise. This is going to have mom, dad, layers, some dear stages. So please mind the words, pages. I just want to burn some cages. This is called The Tantalizing Melody. There you are, my naked piano. I'm here to ravish and savor your keys. Don't worry, I tuned up my xylophone. I'm here to tee you to set you free. Every time I look into your eyes, the melodies come to life. Time to play to a musical and lyrical sunrise. Time to play with all the energy of my might. My elusive violin, please relive those nice and sensitive strings. Let me play them without pauses or ends. Let me listen to your body create tunes while you sing. My sensitive maracas, let me shake and shake them in my big hands. Please get lost in their harmonious buzz. Let me play on this barren yet enticing land. My delicate chimes, the song play every time you jingle. It was passionate, romantic, and sublime. I love to listen to your wiggles and tingles. My soft harp, I love how my fingers flow into you. You sing notes of ecstasy, euphoria, and taboo. Let our minds melt in the musical blue. Do you feel the giant fireball we need to subdue? My pink trumpet, you glow every time I blow, blow, and blow. I can't stand or sit. You love it when I play long, strong, and slow while the air goes down below. I can hear the melodies play in your chest. Looks like my tongues were blessed with the echoes of yes, yes, yes. You play my ebony clarinet. You play with so much accuracy and precision. The burning tunes have been set. It felt like I was feeling another form of religion. My sweet drums, the tempo was getting faster, faster, and faster. I heard your high hums, the sweet sounds of orchestrated disaster. My soft bongos, the ground kept quaking and shaking. I was playing where the rhythm and notes go. My fingers were aching, but a grave was breaking. My ecstatic saxophone, the songs kept rising up. There were lyrics even when you moan and groan. Our hearts were speedy and pump. The concert is over. The black curtains cover us. Wasn't I a passionate composer? Shh, my dear. Let's dream while we touch and hush. And thank you very much.
Oh, did you just rhyme the end of your poem into your transition? Whoa, that's crazy, man. You just blended universes right there. Hey, Ed, anything you want to promote right now? How can people follow and support you online?
Sure, you can find me posted online while coming to this awesome mic that makes a Monday night such a delight in the wonderful musical or poetic spotlight. All right. But you want to follow me, pills for free. You can follow me at Eddie Foreman and IG at Eddie Foreman 92. And remember, the mic is right. I'll be there to time to test the insight. You're sending me requests. You take yes. The answer is yes. Hope everyone stay healthy, safe, and blessed. Never stop spewing the warm words out of your chest. Never stop feeling and being and doing your best. Woo!
All right, Ed. Awesome. That was a killer set of jokes too to kick it off today. Some killer puns I hadn't heard in a while that were on the spot. Chef's kiss. Chef's kiss. Yo, that's Ed Poetastic, everyone. As you mentioned, you can catch him here on Mondays as well as elsewhere. You can catch him at a bunch of other online shows. So we're gonna go ahead and go a little international. We're gonna check in with our buddy Julian Matthews, who's hanging out in Malaysia right now. He's gonna share some gold because he's hanging out under rainbows. What is up, Julian Matthews? Everyone, go ahead and take it away, man. Good to see you.
Hi. Great to be here. Can I share screen, please?
You're good to go.
Thank you. So the war between Russia and Ukraine entered our backyard 9 years ago, July 17th, when a Malaysian Airlines plane was shut down by Russian separatists and Ukraine separatists. 298 people passed away. This is in commemoration of those people who should not be associated with just a plain code, which was MH17, but is recognized as humans. The heart is not a plane. The heart is not a plane. There is no pilot, no flight plan, yet it can take wing and fly high. You have to follow wherever it goes, even when it leads you to nowhere. The heart is not a plane, and you never know where it's going to land. There are no runways that are lit, no air traffic controllers to guide it down. You can lose it sometimes, and it has to find its own way home. The heart is not a plane. It has no seatbelts on sign to warn you of turbulence ahead. It has no flight attendants to assure you to stay calm or tell you where the emergency exits are. There are no emergency exits, only emergencies. No masks will fall from above to help you breathe. If there is a crash, there are no life jackets below your seat to keep you afloat. Only its constant beating to guide you to the shore. The heart is not a plane, but you can store a lot of baggage in the overhead compartment, sometimes not even knowing where you put it. But you can feel its weight, its heaviness. Sometimes you need to put your headphones on and shut out the world, maybe some music, a song, or a poem to ease the journey. The heart is not a plane. There is no economy or first-class tickets to book, no window seats to choose. It seats equally for all. But sometimes when you look out its window, you can clearly see the clouds ahead or sense trouble down the aisle. The heart is not a plane, but you can wear it on your sleeve, and you may meet others with theirs on their sleeve. It's a kind of badge of honor pinned in pain, knowing they and you have it in the right place for all to see, and that these shameless red-eye flights with this band of frequent flyers, these unrelenting passengers of the word, are in it for the long haul. With many miles still to go, always in search for a safe place to land, always in search for a safe place to land. Thank you. Another one. This is called interdependence. I asked the rock, "Who are you?" And the rock replied, "I am magma from the earth's womb, birthed in a fit of volcanic rage and cooled over time." I asked a grain of sand, "Where are you from?" And the grain of sand replied, "I am descended from your highest rocky mountains, lifted by the earth's upper crust." I asked a drop of water, "How did you come to be?" And the drop of water replied, "I was once a snow queen on an orbiting sky, on an orbiting icy comet drawn by Earth's sensuous gravity." I asked a gulp of air, "When did it first exist?" And the gulp of air replied, "My ancient ancestor, cyanobacteria of royal blue and emerald green, populated the oceans 3 billion years ago, absorbed golden sunlight, and tirelessly, one day at a time, for a billion years, released living breaths just for you." I asked the root of a tree, "What is your purpose?" And the root of the tree replied, "I draw the princely gifts of water and nutrients to feed the stem, which feeds the branches, which feeds the leaves and fruits, and in turn, all life on earth." I asked a friend recently how she was, and she replied that she's just quit a job at the age of 30 and single. She feels shelved, lost, and without purpose. I listened and empathized, but I did not tell her I felt lost many a time too, and in a way I still am uncertain of my own purpose in life. I did not tell her of the memory of the minute of our son's birth, bursting forth onto this earth, taking his first gulp of air in a fit of rage, feeling the weight of the world on our shoulders. I did not tell her of the mountains ahead, the tireless trek of many steps, one ahead of another, the detours and changes around the bend, and how often I confused the summit for the journey. I did not tell her of ignoring my roots, being constantly on the move, not wanting to believe how standing still as a tree in the wind could possibly enrich me or bring any dream to fruition. I did not tell her how I skipped from rock to rock, thinking I could walk on water. I did not tell her how I felt entitled for not knowing then that the sands of time would eventually catch up with the man. I did not tell her I learned you cannot hold infinity, eternity, or any other abstraction in the palm of your hand, only calluses, scars, and rope burns. I did not tell her how the hearts of some men can be an island unto itself, and you could end up being washed up on their calcified shores. I did not tell her there is no heaven in a flower, wild or tame, but only in the fertile imagination of rope men in privilege and power, supposedly fearful of hell's fire. I didn't even tell her what the rock, the grain of sand, the drop of water, the gulp of air, or the root told me. Because the last thing the world and any woman needs right now is another man speaking in obtuse metaphors and making pronouncements and judgment calls as if he were a god. Thank you.
All right. Thank you, Julian. Wow, powerful pieces. I always appreciate the multimedia. Is there anything you want to promote right now? Social media, website, YouTube channel, anything like that for people watching right now?
No, not right now. Thank you.
All right, cool. Alrighty then. Thank you, Julian. Let's go on and switch this back. Yeah, definitely worth checking out. Lots of illusions there, and also in that last one. Cool, man. I'm glad you made some time to make it. We're gonna go ahead and go from Malaysia to LA, Los Angeles, where we're gonna check in with the Chicano poet, Mr. Teso Somok. What is up, man? Happy Monday.
Good evening, El Paso poets. I have 1 and 1 and a no stressor for Kit. The hallucination of art. Sorry for the repeat, folks. For the new you folks. Paradox. Art is a form of hallucination, but it's more sophisticated form of hallucination than the kind that we experience in dreams. Art is also a way of exploring inner selves, and even a form of therapy. So in a way, art is both a form of hallucination and a way of transcending hallucination. Characters. Sigmund Freud was an Austrian neurologist and the founder of psychoanalysis. He was born in Freiburg, Moravia in 1856 and died in London in 1939. Freud's theories on the unconscious mind, dream interpretation, and the Oedipal complex have had a profound impact on psychology and culture. Maurice Merleau-Ponty was a French philosopher and a phenomenologist. He was born in Roquefort-sur-Mer, France in 1908 and died in Paris in 1961. Merleau-Ponty's work focuses on the relationship between the body and the mind and the way in which we perceive the world. He was a major influence on the development of existentialism and phenomenology. Scene. Small, cramped cafe in Paris. Freud and Merleau-Ponty are sitting at a table, drinking coffee and smoking cigarettes. Freud. So, you don't believe that art is a form of hallucination? Merleau-Ponty. Of course not. Hallucinations are false perceptions. They are created by the mind when it is not getting what it wants. Art, on the other hand, is a real perception. It's created by the artist's intention to communicate something to the viewer. Freud. Or art can be very subjective experience. One person sees what one person sees as beautiful, another person might see as ugly. How can you say that art is a real perception if it is not open to interpretation? Merleau-Ponty. Because The artist's intention is what gives art its meaning. The artist creates a work of art with the intention of communicating something to the viewer. The viewer then interprets the work of art based on their own experiences and understanding. But even if two people interpret a work of art differently, they're both still experiencing the same real perception. Freud. But what about the somatic response that people have to art? Well, when we see a beautiful painting, our heart rates go up, our palms sweat. That's the somatic response that we have when we're hallucinating. Marrufo. That's true, but it doesn't mean that art is a form of hallucination. The somatic response that we have to art is simply a sign of our emotional engagement with the work. When we see a beautiful painting, we're moved by it. We feel something, and that emotional response is what gives art its power. Freud, I see. So you're saying that art is a real perception and it has the power to move us emotionally. Marrufo, exactly. Art is a way of communicating something to the viewer that goes beyond words. It's a way of tapping into our emotions and our unconscious. That's why art can be so powerful. Freud, I'm not convinced. I still think that art is a form of hallucination, but I'm willing to concede that it is a more sophisticated form of hallucination than the kind that we experience in dreams. Marrufo. That's fine. We don't have to agree, but I think that you're missing something important about art. Art, not just a way of satisfying our pleasure principle, it's also a way of exploring our inner selves. It's a way of coming to terms with our desires. Sorry about that. With our inner desires and fears. Freud. I'm not sure I understand. Marrufo. Well, think about it. When we see a work of art that we find disturbing, it's often because it's tapping into something that we repress. The work of art is forcing us to confront our fears, our desires, and that's a good thing. It's a way of coming to terms with our inner selves. Freud, I see. So you're saying that the art can be a form of therapy. Marrufo, in a way, yeah. Art can help us to understand ourselves better. It can help us to come to terms with our fears and our desires, and that can be a very therapeutic process. Freud. I'm intrigued. I'll have to think about this some more. Marrufo. I'm glad. I think that you'll find that art is very complex and fascinating phenomena. Freud, I'm sure that you're right. The two men finish their coffee and cigarettes. They stand up and leave the cafe. As they walk down the street, Freud turns to Marrufo. Freud, I think you're right. Art is not a form of hallucination. It's something much more than that. It's a way of communicating, a way of exploring our inner selves, and even a form of therapy. Marrufo smiles. I'm glad you see it my way. The two men continue walking, lost in thought. End of that piece. All right. So the no stress for Kit. Next. Okay, this is an original arrangement. The lyrics are derived. Lyrics are derived from one of our fellow poets from the Nuyorican. I originally had an A minor to an E7. It sounded too chirpy, so I had to change it to an E minor 7. So here we go, Richie. Oops. And the title of it is Ritmo Canela. Women with skin like cinnamon, lips crimson. When I feel them in, I don't stop. When I bring them to the crib and I drill them, I can't stop because I fall in love with this skin like confection dessert. She's perfection, she's my cinder bun queen. Know what I mean? Bring her around. Lay with the icing. Oh, it's so enticing. Every time we combine, it's like selling drugs down the line. It's like broader market with confections in a chicken spine. It's like every time she loves me, I'm like I'm going to catch diabetes from this. I like love, cinnamon. It reminds me of the spice every time I lay down for this run. Puerto Rican style reggaeton feel, fingers dancing on the strings, it's surreal. Lick it with the icing, oh, it's enticing. Every time we combine, it's like selling drugs down the line. It's like broader market with confections like chicken spine. It's like every time she loves me, I'm like women with skin like cinnamon, lips crimson. When I fill them in, I don't stop. When I bring them to the crib, I drill them. I can't stop because I fall in love. So that is Ritmo Canela. And the lyricist for that is Mr. Paul Conqueso.
Oh, yeah, Paul con queso. Awesome, man. What do you have anything coming up that you want to promote really quick, Tez?
Sorry, I had a gap there. Can you repeat?
Oh yeah, yeah. I saw that. Do you have anything you want to promote really quick?
No, I'm good. I'm just keep writing more Time Taco episodes and more interesting, challenging thought experiments with philosophers and thinkers.
Yeah, that's awesome. Yeah, definitely like those dialogues. It's interesting stuff. All right, round of applause for Mr. Tessa Somok. Thank you, thank you. All right. Let's go and switch it up. Let me take a look here at the list. Please. All right, cool. Thank you so much. I have Dan, but for some reason, even though he knew he was going to be last, like always, he's making dinner. I blame Ed for this. Ed, why did you have to mention dinner?
You said you might read something before, Dan, at the beginning of the show. You said you might do something in this.
Did say I
particular
might.
slot.
It did I might, but I don't know if I have a 5-minute piece.
Yeah, but you're really good at stretching
Let's
things.
see. Let's see. Oh, whoa. Never mind. I'm not gonna say it.
Oh, yeah.
All right. Yeah.
We'll leave that to Ed.
Okay. All right. All right. All right. All right. Let me see. My Wi-Fi has been kind of weird on my phone right now. So let me see. While we do that, let me see. I'm looking through my notes here. If you guys are in the El Paso area, El Paso, Las Cruces, Juarez, we do have shows in town in person. In fact, tomorrow we are going to be at Mona Bar of Modern Art. It's supposed to be one of our music and poetry nights, I think. So I don't know if I'm going to keep it like that, but we might just keep it open to everything. I'm still experimenting on that because we couldn't do Rosewood this month normally. So we're going to be downtown at Mona Bar. And of course, something that I definitely want to kind of promote more of is that we do have a link tree. And Linktree is really nice. I mean, there's other websites like it, but I mean, that's what I think a lot of us use. But Linktree is nice because you can just house a lot of different links. And then you just share that one link, to someone instead of having to share like a bunch of them where it could be overwhelming to people a lot of the time. Yeah, so we do have a link tree. Among things that you can find there is our calendars. We do have I have 2 calendars set up right now. I have a Google Calendar, and that's something I think I fixed it. Apparently, there was something wrong with it. It should be fixed now. If you click on it, it'll show you the monthly calendar of events. Plus, I'm trying my best to update now a couple months in advance, so it's already there, so you can see that. But if you click on that, you might be able to subscribe to it. And I always recommend to people who are always mentioning it, we can subscribe. Yeah, you can subscribe. Terry, yeah, we can get you ready. You can go ahead and read a little bit as well. Let me just finish this quick commercial update. Yeah, so there's that. And we also have a link to our Facebook events page. And that'll let you know. I set up all the events for the month, for each month. That way so you can kind of see what's going on. Also with our link tree, you can subscribe. I believe in the upper right-hand corner, there is a little link where you can click subscribe. And I believe you can elect to either have your email or your phone number to receive updates. And pretty much I manually update it. I can send it out to people. So links to the online mics, that's kind of the first place where I post them. But yeah, any other special links are there. Ways you can support us. We have merchandise. We have t-shirts. I started pre-orders. I'm experimenting with a store. So I want to start making merchandise, BWOMS merchandise, like mugs and hats and stickers and stuff like that. But one of the things we're going to try first is a mug, not a mug, some glassware. So anyway, let's go ahead and Terry, we're going to go to New Jersey. Terry Rose Jurtson, aka the Chameleon Poetic, is in the house. Let's see. Yeah, hey, how you going? How you doing, Terry?
I just shoved some rice in my mouth. I had leftover rice from lunch.
All right, cheers.
I was going to read this at the Norican, but I couldn't make up my mind actually when I wanted to read. I had like 3 pieces and I kept going back and forth, but This one is, I don't know, something about this one I like. It's called Cactus Heart. The time he fell into my cactus, it was prickly, and he did get stuck against his will. Yet he kept coming back to me, and I had to pull out the spiny needles from his tender, freckled arms. And I said I was sorry, and I can't remember exactly what led up to that event, but I do know one thing. He was a lot like that cactus, that prickly pear, and the way those spikes pierced my tender parts. He collected my love like water, stored in his chubby, succulent parts, and then provided enough shade to kill a bitch when he wanted to leave, stealing all the water for himself to fuel his getaway, uprooting my heart like the desert home. The air was parched, trapped in my belly when I considered begging him to stay. Something about that one. I had this piece that I was going to read. It was really short though. For Donna. I wrote for Donna. Inhale, exhale. Inhale, exhale. I am the breath of life that every living thing that breathes takes for granted until I am no more. Inhale, exhale. Inhale, exhale. The body to join the melancholy atmosphere of the infinite universe. I could read more, but
No, it's great. That was a nice poem. Shout out. I mean, it's great to remember Donna. Do you have any events coming up? Do you want to promote, or
yeah,
how can people follow and support you online as well? Yeah, so plug it all.
I do. On August 1st I think it's a Tuesday, is SPOFest every Tuesday. Well, I don't know if it's every Tuesday. Could be every other Tuesday. But I'm going to be featured on SPOFest with 2 other women. So there's 3 of us. Going to be like an estrogen fest. I'm looking to see the names of the other women because I don't know them. Hang on a second. Alyssa Submarco and Lindsay Royce. And it's going to be at 6 p.m. Central Time. So what's that make it on? Is that 7 p.m. our time? I'm not really good with math.
Well, it just depends on also our definition of hour, but yeah.
So Central Time is a difference from an hour. It's an hour earlier than Eastern Time. So that means it's going to be at 7 p.m. Right? I have it wrong. Well, help me out. Whoever knows. But
if it's 6 Central, then it's 7 Eastern.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay. Yeah. So then that's what it is.
Yep.
And the link is, I put it on my stories. I tried to post it several times, but Facebook and Instagram, even though I think they're owned by the same people, they don't want to talk to each other. It's like Macintosh and PCs used to be. When I try to post something on Facebook, it'll go on Facebook, but then the links, something about the links will be messed up if you try to move it over to Instagram. But if you post on Instagram and then you ask it to post at the same time on Facebook, that seems to work better. But then I don't want to do that because the last time I did that, both of my accounts got deleted instead of just one.
Yeah, you don't want to do that.
I'm trying to avoid this again.
It's like that thing with whatever that new
The threads. It's called threads.
threads thing.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's dangerous.
Anyway, yeah. So
Also, one more thing I want to promote. Poetry Festival in New York City,
Yeah.
July 30th and 31st, I believe, right? Or the 29th and the 30th. I'm sorry. That's the correct time. On the 30th is a Sunday, and I'm going to be featuring with Generalissimo, Arsen, Ray Jane, and Shaki G. And we're going to be going on the Algonquin stage at 11:30 a.m. on Governor's Island in New York. That's exciting.
Is
There
there a
is.
round
Sure
table on
is.
the Algonquin stage?
I'm not sure. No, probably not.
Yeah, well, have fun at the poetry fest. Uh, you had a estrogen fest was particularly interesting, funny sounding, but yeah. Thank you, Terry and Rose, for jumping in. Chameleon Poetic. You can also find you online by just looking up your name, right?
Yes, Poetic, Chameleon Poetic on Instagram and Terry Rose Dirtson on Facebook.
Cool. All right. Well, thank you for sharing those with us today.
Oh, and my book is for sale still.
Yeah, get the book.
Chameleon Chronicles.
Hold on.
You can get this on Red or Green Books if you just put it in the search bar, or you can contact me. I have a few copies left. Either way, I don't have it on any main platforms or anything. I haven't figured that one out yet. Maybe my next book.
There you go. That's thinking. All right. Appreciate it. Thanks for taking the time and joining us and helping out. We're going to go ahead and close out the show as we often do. I'm going to go ahead back to El Paso. Yeah. So we visited Terry Rose at in New Jersey, but right now in El Paso, we got Dan the Man. Go ahead and take it away. Whoa. Hey.
Uh-oh. Hold on.
Always an adventure. Oh, hey, look at the room.
I don't know. Oh well.
Oh, it's
Okay.
good.
Anyway.
Yeah, your audio went out, Dan.
Not again.
There's nothing like a Dan segment that features tech issues, a fire alarm that needs new batteries, and the hiccups. It's not like you had a whole show to get ready. It's all good. It's all good.
Oh, sorry. Got the FB on. Okay, you guys still hear me?
Right now.
Okay. One sec.
On any other stage, the host would be like, all right, that's your time. Take it easy, Dan. All right.
Yeah, right. Okay.
Well,
I have us back. Yeah, I'm still a couple weeks delay on the 4th of July, and how can I say? Well, this is big. Yeah,
A big setback. Yeah, I'm stuck in the coal sack. It's no longer a lumberjack. Yeah, yeah, setbacks. There's one big smack of the. There's one big sack drawback. Yeah, no wonder this still gets caught. No wonder this boss give me a hijack. Yeah, I'm not about Iraq. I'm talking about Ukraine. Yeah, hope I can fight back against Russia. Yep, payback. Yeah. Ah, man. Yeah, I keep the coat slack and yeah, I'm heavy. Yeah, and the leg's giving me a smack. Yeah. But it's a wreck. So not even a neck. So yeah, it is one big schedule black. And it is a it is a schedule black. Take back. Still got that in the dictionary, right? Okay. And you might remember last week, the literature. Yeah, fiction, poetry. I think I just stumbled on to Robert Frost. Hold on. The Robert Frost. Mm-mm. Shit. Okay. Yeah. Turn the page. The book is always big wages. Okay.
Yeah, and in the future, you gotta choose pieces before you go on, man.
Yeah, I should have plugged the damn thing. I'm sorry. Okay.
What do you use the table of content? What are you looking for, Dan?
Yeah, I tried the table of contents,
Well,
but it's not giving a specific version.
Well, I mean, normally, Dan, so that would be like a whole set right now,
Wait.
like time wise.
Two, launch.
You're going page by page. You're going page by page.
And Marla, we're going to pages, wages, some stuff, don't have the pages. The wages is many ages. Yeah, but turn the pages is on the wages. Yeah.
All right, hey Dan, we're gonna have to do a part 2 next week. Like we gotta kind of end the stream, man, because this is taking too long.
I'm so sorry.
Yeah, just choose a piece and just read it next week. Because if you read it now, it's gonna make your set even longer.
I'll make one short.
Dan.
The
Next time, just bookmark stuff that you want to read.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
Yeah, I'm sorry about that. No, at least I did the wages and thing that was rhyming. That I'm rhyming through the pages. Yeah, if you know what I mean. It's not that. So, yeah. Sorry about that. All right. Excuse me. Excuse me again. Sorry about that. Okay. All right, here it is. Read it and weep it. Yeah. Still behind posts on Twitter and Facebook, but I'm still catching up on Instagram. But just be aware, I'm still heavily behind schedule on my blog. So just I'll keep you posted when the updates come available. Just follow me on Twitter, but most importantly, find Animance Weekly on YouTube. Don't forget the hashtag. Just search and subscribe my channel.
All right. Thanks, Dan. Also, you need to update that because Twitter doesn't exist anymore. Just heads up.
I know.
All right. So, all right. So, just a quick, X. What is that? What is that? Okay. So, just a heads up, Dan. Please just have your stuff ready because you did like a whole set looking for a piece and doing tech check. And we just want to respect everyone's time who's here with us because it's late for a lot of people. It's fine. It's fine.
Sorry about that.
I'm gonna mute you again. All right. So once again, thank you so much, guys, for everyone who did sign up and performed, as well as people who jumped in kind of towards the end as well, like Martin and Julian, as well as Terry Rose. We will be back next Monday, ready to go, right? With all our pieces selected. And if you got to improvise, you got to improvise. But we'll do that. So once again, if you want to be kept up to date, we do have our social media, Barbed Open Mic Series. If you type that in, we'll show up pretty much anywhere. Still working on some other stuff, but anyway, if you guys are watching the replay, thank you so much for sticking around. If you are an EPCC student and want that QR code, just shoot me a message. I'm a Professor Marrufo, Marrufo. You can find me through the EPCC database, or you can just email me on Instagram, Deadwall Reveries. I will see you guys next Monday for the live stream. Everyone who performed. Later. Peace. Have a good night. Sleep well. Sleep tight. See you next Monday. Bye.